and thanks for joining me on the Simply Fitness podcast. I'm John Stein, and let's get after it. Today, we are talking about our rest days, sabotaging your gains. But first, let's hit those random thoughts for the week. So recently, in the last episode, you heard me talking about walking, and specifically what I've been doing with my walks recently that I've been loving is using my weighted vest. I broke it out. In the last episode, I talked a little bit, but my wife saw a TikTok and she was saying about, oh, is the weighted vest cool? Like, don't you have a weighted vest? Is it good for you? And I was like, yeah, I have a weighted vest. And so I've just started wearing it on our walks, specifically on days that I'm not running, on days sometimes when I'm weight training, sometimes when I'm not, depending on how hard I hit legs that day. And it's mostly just to see, how does the increase in intensity affect my recovery, affect my strength gains, just overall affect my body, my composition, just to see where it goes. And just going from there. And it's just fun. It's just a little challenge. It just adds a little bit more intensity to the walks that I'm already taking. And it's not a crazy amount of intensity, but it's just enough that I just want to see like where it goes. And that kind of got me thinking, and that I think a lot of people just get set in their ways a lot with fitness and are afraid to try something new because that they're afraid to see what it might do to their gains or to their progress. And I would challenge you to try different things. Yes, different modalities of exercise are going to affect the body differently because they provide a different form of stress. And that's okay. Try something new, try something different, and it's okay. Your body is going to react in a certain way. Some you might enjoy that, you might not enjoy it. It might be good, it might not be so good, and that's okay. But you don't know until you try and experiment, have fun. This is a lifelong thing. Fitness is lifelong. Same thing with nutrition. Try something different with your diet. Try higher fats, try higher carbs, cut out certain foods, add certain foods, see how your body reacts. You'll be surprised to find what you thought might not feel good feels absolutely amazing, but you don't know until you try. So I would combat you. Try something new. Try it for a few weeks. See what happens. The worst comes to worst, you just keep doing the same thing that you've been doing that's helping you get the results that you've been looking for. But let's get into it. Our strength gains, our rest days, sabotaging your gains. Are they? Do you ever feel guilty for taking a rest day? I know that I used to all the time. Rest days were very much just like I didn't get my training in. They weren't built in. They were, thinking about, okay, I'm going to lose my progress. If I don't keep trying to make progress, I'm going to be losing it. And today we're going to bust through that myth that it's going to sabotage your progress. And it might actually be the thing that is going to help you make even more progress. So, like I said, the intensity in my mind always used to have to be dialed up. I always had to be taking that next step forward every single day in order to be making progress. Because in my mind, that's how progress is made. You give your body that stimulus, you challenge yourself, you get uncomfortable, and you make progress that way. And you just keep doing that day after day after day after day after day. And you just keep on doing it. Well, honestly, this probably set me back more than it helped me. It left me extremely burnt out with working out. It left me fatigued mentally and physically, and always had a nagging injury. Always had something. My shoulder kind of bothered me, my hips, my knee. Not that I was injured, but you just felt like something just always felt a little out of whack. And spoiler, I was wrong. That was not the mindset that I should have been taking. That shouldn't have been the way I perceived my workouts. And at the end of the day, rest is non-negotiable. You need rest, and anyone telling you that you need to be training hard every single day, day in and day out, that is just a lie. If you don't train daily, great. If you do, that's also great. But if you go into it thinking if I don't train, I'm going to lose muscle, I'm going to lose strength, I'm going to lose my momentum, that rest days just equal being lazy, that's just out of where that comes from. I can think of really two things. Is, at least for me, it came from some of the people I was listening to and some of the people on Instagram podcasts that were just glorifying these no days off. I think that's a little bit less now, but it's still very much there. And like I've been saying, logically, it makes sense. It makes sense that if I work out more, I'm going to get more gains. That makes sense. We talk about it. If you want your body to change, you have to put a certain stimulus. Now, you could put too much and your body not be able to adapt to that stimulus. And that's exactly where no rest days is bad, because your body has no chance to adapt. Once we know that physiologically, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but rest is really where the magic happens. That's where our body is going to get that strength. So let's talk about why it is so important. So when you train, like I said, you're adding stress to that body, and with your muscles, you're getting little tears, little itty bitty tears in the muscle. That's why sometimes you feel sore. But rest is allowing that body to heal stronger, which is hypertrophy. You probably heard it. There's hypertrophy style workouts. That's what they're doing. We're trying to tear the muscle a little bit and grow it stronger, and in most of the case for hypertrophy, grow it bigger. Now, where that process in the body actually becomes its highest, most optimal, is about that 24 to 48 hours after that workout. So that's where it peaks. So if you're not allowing for rest, you never really get to that peak, that optimal time. So rest equals repair, which equals gains. It's that simple. Now, another reason why rest days are important, I think, mentally and physically, is burnout. Exercise burnout, fitness burnout is a very real thing. It's happened, to me before. I've seen it happen to clients and friends, but also physiologically. When you're overtraining, when you're just providing your body constant stress, what is it going to do? It's going to produce a lot of stress hormones like cortisol, which is going to actually break down muscle. So if you're continuously adding more and more stress to yourself by working out constantly, you add on your daily stress, your work stress, your life stress, your friends, your family, everything that starts to pile on. It's going to burn you out physically and mentally. Now, where workouts become something that you enjoy and helps you blow off steam, now it does the opposite effect and adds to it, which is not, what you're trying to do. We're trying to enjoy the gym. We're trying to have the gym, our workouts, be our, quote unquote safe space. That's where we fun. That's where we help ourselves. That is the catalyst to the rest of our life. Adding to our, keeping the fitness as an area that we can continue to grow is going to help with all the other areas. Now, if it's taking away from all of that, that's where we're going to get burnt out. And then we're going to start dreading our workouts, dreading the gym. And we don't want that. Now, let's blow this. You're going to lose muscle if you stop working out. Now, muscle loss doesn't happen until about 2 to 3 weeks after you stop training. So if you do no training, 2 to 3 weeks is when you're really going to start to see muscle loss, not 1 to 2 days. So that rest that you're having, you're not going to lose your progress. I hear this from clients all the time, especially beginners, because you gain a lot of momentum, you're feeling great, and you're like, I got to keep it going. I got to keep it going. You need to rest. You're going to see the progress from that. Now, if you're worried about strength loss, your strength will dip a little bit sooner, about like 10 to 14, but we know that it's just temporary, that strength can be gained back pretty quickly, even from a decent layoff. Now, like I said, a rest day or even a week off isn't going to undo all your work. Your body is way smarter than that. It wants to maintain the muscle. It wants to maintain the strength. It still thinks, we have to think that our body still thinks we're cavemen. We're still hunting, gathering. It doesn't know we got a Chipotle over there that we can go get food. It doesn't know that we're in a safe, climate-controlled environment and housing, protected from the forces of nature 90% of the time. Now, when you're thinking about more of like cardio endurance, this is going to hold, again, still about 1 to 2 weeks without training. So it's going to, again, if you're taking a week off from running, you're not going to lose your progress. Yes, it might feel harder. Yes, it might, your RPE might go up, your rate of perceived exertion. It might go from what felt like a 7 might be an 8 or a 9 now because you took a little bit off. That's okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you lost muscle. You lost your cardio endurance from that. Now, the real risk from not taking rest days is overtraining. And especially when it comes to like running, it's probably the easiest way to see overtraining. It can happen a lot more in strength training, but most people aren't strength training 7 days a week. But a lot of people will run every single day or will run a lot too quickly. So symptoms like plateauing, so having, really long plateaus, some soreness, bad sleep could be a sign that maybe you're not resting enough or pushing hard enough. Injury is also a big one. Especially getting like nagging pains that come on every single time you're working out or every single time after you're working out. And I'm talking about regularly. Things like shin splints, compartment syndrome, runner's knee, things like that are going to happen continuously after every single time you're getting that same sign and symptom. That's just a key in your mind to be like, okay, something's not right. Something's not working right. I'm doing something wrong or I'm overworking and I need to take a step back, acknowledge this, address it, and move forward. Now, how do we take rest days? Like, okay, we know we need them. We know that they're going to help me more than they're going to hurt me. So how do I program this in? Well, really there's 2 types of rest days that you can take. You can take more of a passive approach or a more active approach. And both ways are right. There's no wrong way. So passive would be like exactly what you think about on a rest day. You're relaxing. There's no physical activity. Yes, you might keep your steps up. You're still going to get your 7 to 9 hours of sleep. This is great for like after like a really, heavy workout or a long run and you take the next day off. This is a great one. It's great for that. Now, active would be something like a light movement, like an active recovery, walking, yoga, stretching, mobility. So I love to do that on days. I don't like to take a complete rest day where I'm not doing anything. So I like to take my weighted vest. I like to go for a walk without my weighted vest. Mobility work, the work that, I know I should be doing that I'm maybe not doing as much of. That's a great opportunity to do something that's a little bit lighter. That's going to help me still physically feel good, get my mind right that I did some activity and move on for the day. Check that box for myself that I did move my body. So again, 1 to 2 rest days is probably just about as much as most people need. Beginner, if you're just starting off or maybe you're doing something new, I would say maybe even 2 to 3 is, probably even more beneficial for someone who's just starting off. But as you, advance in your fitness, 1 to 2 is perfectly fine in my eyes. I would say even 2 with nutrition. If you are taking a rest, you could, again, make sure you're getting like your 0.8 to 1.2, grams per kilogram body weight for protein, just to help support that. You don't have to slash calories. Some people do. Some people prefer to have higher calorie days on training days, lower on non-training days. It just helps them cycle through and maintain consistency. Again, no problem with that. Completely understand. Makes great sense. It works for some, doesn't for others. But you got to figure out what, again, works best for you. At the end of the day, That's what this is about. Works best for you to help you move forward. So now we got all this. We know we need rest days. We need them. We need them built in. So schedule them just like you do your workouts, just like everything else. Take it off your plate. Schedule it in and commit to it. Don't change a rest day to an active, moving, balls to the wall day. No, we're going to schedule it just like we do our workouts, 1 to 2 days per week. And the one thing we're not going to do, we are not going to feel guilty. We're going to put them in. We're going to love it. We're going to enjoy it. Plan something that day. Go for a walk. Go for a light hike. Do your mobility. Perfect. And that goes right into it. Tip number 2, try active recovery. If you're really like, I need to move, great. You got your steps. Go do them. Go for a brisk walk. Do some stretching. I know there's stuff that you're not doing. I know there's stuff that every single fitness person I know, there's stuff that they should be doing that they are not doing enough of. This is your opportunity. Do it. Go to YouTube. Google yoga. Do some yoga. Do a 10, 15-minute yoga video on YouTube. Stretch out your body. Take some deep breaths. It's perfect. It's all you need. It's going to help you. Now 3, track how you feel. If you're just starting it, how do you feel? How does your workout the next day after you rest? Is it better? Is it the same? Check it out. Track it. If you're tracking in a notebook or on your notes app, write it underneath. It's just like, you should be writing how you're feeling irregardless. But now you know, okay, this workout came after a rest. How do I feel? How are my results? I feel better and I lifted a little bit more. Boom. I know before I do these lifts, I need to make sure I'm coming in from a rest day. Or to even know, okay, I got to dial back because I did workout here. Because I know for me, my workouts are all over the place. It depends on the week. It depends on what I got to do. And that's okay. But then okay, this is last week I came from a rest, maybe maintaining, or if I can keep doing that, great. But I might not have more to give because I'm not coming from a rest day. And tip number 4, don't fear a whole deload week. I know we're just getting through 1 to 2 days, but don't be afraid to try a deload week, a week where your workouts and intensity can be way dialed back. It doesn't mean you have to take a full week off of working out. Just start back from the beginning. Add, go lighter on the weight. Drop that rate of perceived exertion to a little bit lighter. Let your body recharge for the 5 to 7 days. See how that feels, especially I would say after 6 to 8 weeks, especially if you're doing a nice progressive overload and continuing it for that 4 to 6 weeks. That's a great time to, before you start your next program, take a week off. And I'm not talking about, lying on the beach, but you can. That sounds great. I love that idea. But dial back the workouts. Just keep the intensity down. If you're running, dial back the mileage or dial back the mile time. Whatever makes sense for your goal. And go from there. So now that we're coming to this conclusion, we should know rest days are not the enemy. They're where our gains are born. This is where our progress is made in the rest day. Our muscles going to rebuild, our mind's going to reset, and we're going to come back even stronger the next time. So remember, the real sabotage here is never stopping. Just go, 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 go. We can't just go. We're not the Energizer Bunny. We got to recharge. That's why we got sleep. We got to recharge. We got to let that body recover. We need it. So my challenge to you, get that rest day scheduled today. Get it scheduled. When are you taking it? See how it feels. And right now, schedule it. Send me a DM. Let me know how it feels. Okay, guys? Send me a message. Let me know how'd it go. How'd your rest day? How'd it feel? Comment. Send me a DM. I would love it. My Instagram is in the show notes at MaxUCoaching. Make sure you subscribe for all the latest episodes. Share with the gym buddy. And let's keep fitness simple. Love you guys. Peace.